What's up, everybody? So, here we have another episode of Storytime with P.Rod. And this one is my Nunchucks story. And it's going to sound crazy, like I'm totally making this up, but I promise you, it happened. It was real. It happened really for real. My father is my witness. My dad was actually, I told this story. I mean, all my closest friends know this story. I've told this to everyone who's like my close friends. And I actually, like a month ago, was out to dinner with my dad, and I brought Spanish Mike and his girlfriend with me. And I didn't even bring the story up. I had just told them the story a couple days before. Like Mike had already heard it. I don't think Jess had heard it, but I had just told them the story like a day or two before. And I'm not kidding. We're sitting at the dinner table, and my dad starts telling me about the story. They were there witnessing. I didn't even bring it up. My dad starts telling the story that I had just told them. So I'm just saying all this to say because it sounds crazy, but it really happened. I don't know what to say. I can't explain it, but it is what it is. So here's my nunchuck story. So I was about 7 years old at this time, 7, 8 years old, somewhere in that range. And I went to go spend the weekend with my dad. My dad picked me up. I asked him if he could take me to go buy some toys. And I never really liked like figurines, action figures. Like, I was always a kid with energy. I always had to be moving, jumping around, flipping around the house. I always had to be moving. So we went to the toy store. I'm looking around, and I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan at this point. And I see this costume of Michelangelo. A Michelangelo costume comes with like a little ninja, a shell, comes with this like cool like orange band with the green nose. It comes with a pair of nunchucks and like a little like, I don't know, like a little nylon bodysuit. Oh, it's like a Halloween costume, but it wasn't Halloween. And I see it and I'm like, oh, Dad, can I please get this? And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. So we get it. I'm so hyped. We go back to the house. My pops, he's been out on tour doing stand-up comedy shows, whatever, so he's just relaxed and tough. He's in his den, laying on the couch, feet kicked up, watching TV, and it's just me and him. And I just got this new toy, so I go out to the living room, and I put on the outfit. I'm all psyched. I was mainly psyched to mess with these nunchucks because I was like super big into martial arts when I was a kid, doing all the karate classes, everything like that. Love Bruce Lee, love Ninja Turtles, anything of that nature. Jean-Claude Van Damme, all that stuff. And so I put on the outfit, I'm messing with the nunchucks, and then all of a sudden in my mind, I'm having my imagination, the Foot Clan or the bad guys of the Ninja Turtles, So like my mind, all of a sudden, I'm Michelangelo, and I'm envisioning the Foot Clan, right? Like oh yeah, oh, you guys want some? What, you guys want some? I'm just doing the nunchucks. And the nunchucks there were orange handles, and they were gray plastic links to look like the chains. So it was 4 chain links. So 1, 2, 3, 4 little plastic chain links. And they were connected to the sticks. I was doing my thing, like, come on. And one time, the nunchucks like flew out of my hand when I was doing it. They just came out of my hand. And I went to go pick them up. And I started swinging them around, and I could tell that they felt different, but like, I don't know, I just didn't pay too much attention to it. And another time, like, I was just like, I don't know if it slipped out of my hand or I was like throwing it at one of the bad guys, or whatever I did, but the nunchucks launched out of my hand again. I went to go pick them up, and this time I'm like doing the same moves I was doing, but I was like missing the handles. I was like, and like, I was pretty good at the nunchucks at that time. I was always playing with them. So like I missed the handle, and they just felt weird, and I just looked at them, and I'm just looking at them, and at this point I hadn't counted the chain links. I didn't know there was supposed to be 4, and there was just 2 of them. There's just 2 links. I was like, that doesn't look right, like whatever. So I'm just like throwing, and I just throw it again, and I shit you not, I am not lying. I did not invent this story. My father can tell the story. I go over to pick them up. I pick them up, I look at them. There's 1 chain link, just 1 chain link holding the 2 sticks together. And then I'm just like, what? So then I just throw them again. I go to pick it up. It's just 2 sticks. The chain's gone. 2 sticks laying there on the floor. And I pick them up. I'm like, what? So I put them in one hand and I throw them again. I'm not lying. I'm going to probably say that 20 more times in this video. I walk over to pick up the sticks. Sure enough, 4 chain links. Everything's back to normal. Everything's working fine. And at this point, I'm like not even worried about playing. So I test it by myself. Throw them again, 3, throw it again, 2, throw it again, 1, throw it again, 2 sticks, throw it again, back to 4. So I do that a few times and I'm like tripping. So I run in to the TV room where my dad's at, and my dad's literally just kicked up, feet on the couch, like hand like this, watching TV with the remote, like just zoning out. I run out, I'm like, Dad, look at this. He's like, what? I'm like, okay. I sit down, I sit next to him. I'm like, you see these nunchucks? Yeah. I was like, okay, you see the chain? Yeah. I was like, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's like, okay. And now I'm like, okay, look. I throw him across the room. I walk over, I pick him up, I run back to him. Look. 1, 2, 3. He was like, whoa, that's a cool trick, son. I was like, it's not a trick. I'm not doing that. He's like, he was just like, yeah, whatever, that was cool. Like, that's cool. Like, I didn't know they were like trick nunchucks. They're not. So I'm like, look, I throw them. I go across, come back, 1, 2, and he's like, whoa, that's really, like, at this point, he at first he was just like, oh yeah, nice, son, whatever, like, and then after it got down to 2, he got up like, whoa, how did you do that? I was like, I'm not doing it. And I threw it again. I show him the whole thing. 2, 1, and there was one he's tripping, and then it's just 2 sticks. He's like, son, no, seriously, tell me how you're doing that. I gotta know how you're doing it. Like, he thinks I'm doing a magic trick. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And then I threw them again. Sure enough, they're back to all 4 links. And I'm like, here, you do it. And he did it. Threw it. It worked. 3, 2, 1, 0. And we sat there for at least an hour doing it over and over. Both of him, me, him. And we did it over and over. And it kept happening every time. And he still wouldn't believe me. Like, okay, Paulie, tell me, how are you doing that? I'm not doing it. Dad, I'm telling you, I'm not doing it. I don't know how it's happening. This is crazy. He's like, this is insane. And we did it for, I don't know, just a long time. Because we were just like in disbelief. Like, this can't be real. So we end up, whatever, the night's over. And he takes me back to my mom's house on Sunday. I go back to my mom's house. My sister is staying with us at this time. And I come in the house, and I can't wait to show my mom, my sister, my Uncle Dave. I can't wait to show them. I'm like, yo, you guys got to check this out. And I get in the house. I'm like, okay, look, you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Everyone's like, yeah, okay, check this out. I hurl them across the room. I run over. I grab them, I pick them up. I'm like, check it out, look. And then I'm like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Okay, one more time. I go, grab it, bring it back. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, no, they were disappearing. I promise, like they were really disappearing. I kept trying for like a couple minutes, like, no, just wait, it's gonna work. And I was just like, I don't understand. I don't get it, and then they were just like, oh, whatever, like, oh, I guess, I don't know. And I was like, no, like, ask my dad. They were disappearing, like, ah. And it would not work at my mom's house. It only worked at my dad's house. And to this day, I have no explanation for how or why that happened, but it guaranteed happened. My dad, who was a grown man at that point, witnessed it with his own eyes. So you're not just hearing a 7-year-old's account of it. My father witnessed it. And so that's my nunchuck story. If you guys have any paranormal stories or any interesting stuff that's happened to you like that, I would love to hear. Please message me or send a video of you talking about your stories, because like I can't be the only one out here with something like this. Like, I'm not crazy. Like, I'm not tripping. Like, that happened. So I would love to hear your guys' stories too. So send them in. Let's hear them.